Hello, Ellie Walsh from New York State.
Hello, Michael.
I'm so glad
from Canada.
Yes, I'm so glad that you joined us. We're on opposite ends of America today. I'm glad that you took the time to join me. Now, one of my opening questions, because I'm curious, I want to know how it was that you connected with me. What was the first instance of my book or my work, or what's our trail of history? Give us a little background about that.
Actually, I was introduced to the law of attraction in 2003. So I saw your book, several years after that, probably after I saw The Secret.
Okay.
Because I guess The Secret, brought this out.
That's
so,
right.
You start Googling.
Yeah. Okay, good. So you went from reading my book, and I remember coming to a seminar in New York when I was in a seminar, and you sat in the front row. And I thought, ooh, I've got a handful in the front row. Remember that conversation? I don't think you were there 2 minutes. I thought, okay, she's going to be a handle. I'm going to have to handle her. But we had lots of fun.
Good job.
Yeah, we had lots of fun that day. So had you decided before you saw my live presentation that you wanted to take the training, or did that help you decide, or what do you remember about that?
Well, I went specifically for that reason. I was already teaching law of attraction. Mm-hmm. I already had a meetup group.
Oh, nice.
Because it was, when I was introduced to it, I was at a very low point in my life, and it was life-changing, which is why I went out to then teach this.
Yeah,
people to see this. People need to learn this. So when I found your book, I was thrilled because somebody was making this, what can seem very complicated, simple. Mm-hmm. You really are the how-to guy.
Yeah. Well, I think you know that my book was a seminar first. So people like you that are used to teaching, when you read it, you say, this is a seminar. I mean,
yeah.
You have to learn about a vibe before you learn about allowing. There was all the steps and the processes. And same with when I wrote Law of Connection. It was a seminar first. And you know that I'm writing my next book, Fulfillment Needs. Well, it's a seminar
I'm waiting
first.
for that book. That's exciting.
I know that you're teaching it already. So you can
yes,
see that
I am.
It's a seminar first, and how nicely it'll turn into a book. So
yes.
I'm working on that right now. Very good.
Yes. So realize that. So I was teaching this. I knew this was life-changing when I saw it, because, there are people out there that really complicate this. Mm-hmm. And so when I saw how simple this was, and I had just been certified in hypnosis and NLP.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I was really excited when you talked about utilizing NLP and accelerated learning. I was already kind of hooked. Yeah. And once I saw you in New York City, it was like, no, I'm going. Because I knew how much this was going to benefit me, how much this was going to benefit the people that I work with. Yeah, so I was thrilled. And it was a fantastic decision.
Thank you. Yeah.
I mean that. I don't promote people unless I really, really, really believe.
Yes. I know your word is sacred, so to get a compliment about that from you is very special. And you know what? There's some things I can own. And I can own that I'm a good trainer. And I can own that I'm a good... I can explain stuff that's difficult easy. Now, some other areas I might not brag about. Those areas I can brag about.
Oh, you can. No, you can.
Yeah, so it sounds like... So I'd like to hear about now. So you came to, you were in Vancouver or Victoria?
No, Phoenix.
Phoenix, sorry, yes. You came
August.
To Phoenix.
Who goes to Phoenix in August? I really, really, really wanted to do this training.
I know. I remember going outside, it was like a blow dryer in August. Hello, someone turn off the blow dryer.
Yes.
So tell me about what you've got going on tell me what city you're in first. I've been saying New York State, but... Tell us what city.
Well, I live in upstate New York in a little town called Middleburg, but I do my meetup group over in close to Albany, New York. Okay. I'm about an hour from there. I live in the boonies now.
Okay.
So, and we do now have a local group starting in Cobleskill.
Well, it only takes two to have a group.
That's right. That's right. So it is happening here, but I've been running that meetup group for over 3 years now.
Wow.
About 4 years.
Yeah. And would you tell anybody that wants to get really good at law of attraction to have a meetup group?
Oh, what a great idea. Yes. Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, that's how I started too. In 1998, I had a meetup. It wasn't called Meetup Groups, but it was a group that met. So I guess we were a meetup group. And I
Right.
did that for 2 years, and boy, you get good at it. The other thing is you find a lot of the questions are the same after a while, so you really get to understand the question and you experience it yourself. So good for you for being consistent with your group.
I love it.
And tell me about some of the seminars you've been conducting using the skills that you learned.
Well, and so, I have groups contacting me. I just had the local library contacted me a couple of weeks ago,
Oh, nice.
and I went down and did a presentation. And now, I utilize, what you've taught us.
Nice.
Because it is the simplest way to explain this. And I get emails from people that have gone just even to the hour and a half that, start talking about life changes already.
Yes. Well, you know what's
changes.
Yes, you know what's exciting is that even though I wrote the book, you become the hero, right? Because they don't know who I am, really. It's like you're the one that taught about the don't, not, and no, and how to change to positive thoughts, and like so they remember that, and that's the nice thing about the branding part. It's like, oh yeah, Ellie taught me that. What are some of the compliments you've been getting from people?
Oh, I get lots of compliments. I do, because people talk about how they had heard about this before. Many people say from The Secret, and how they were confused, or now they're on the internet and they're seeing, 85 other laws, and how this just brings it in and they can apply it, and that they're seeing changes in their life already. And then I get those emails or those phone calls of big life changes, and that's what keeps me doing this.
Isn't it awesome? It's the best job in the whole world.
It really is awesome.
Yeah. I open up my fan page and all the compliments, and people email me stuff, and I send and I read them carefully. Like, people are, to change in my new book, Fulfillment Needs, I'm talking about what fulfills me, and one of them is to influence people in a positive way. So even hearing your successes is fulfilling me, and to hear all the people that write and say how everything changed and was really good.
And so I just utilize that because here we are in a group with you, and I utilize that information and did it with a group of 22 people, and every person about fulfillment needs, every person had an aha.
Is that right?
It's like, we need that book, Michael.
I know. Well, I'm working on it faster. I was in Las Vegas last weekend, and there was, I think, about 150 women around round tables. And it was the first time that I did the presentation in person. I've done it on teleclasses, so I had handouts. Right. And I thought, you know what? I can teach anything. The model that I teach at the certification, I thought, here's the same model. Let's talk about fulfillment needs. And I had about a half hour left. I was looking, I hadn't done it before, and I'm looking at my watch, and I thought, I got a half hour to fill. So I had brought yellow stickies. So I got everybody to put a sticky on their chest. This is a good exercise for you. And write down what their top 4 fulfillment needs are, and go around the room and tell people about how that business they're in gets them met, and how their last relationship didn't. And it really creates lots. Talk about a buzz in the room. So I was so proud that in 2 hours, 150 women got to uncover what fulfills them, and then talk about it and say, this does, and own it. This fulfills me.
Right.
And now that they know, their job is to implement it and make decisions. So, yeah, I came back from the seminar really excited, and I thought, you know what? I need to get this book done fast, and I need to publish it fast, because it's a hot subject.
Well, it's a very important subject. Most people never even pay attention to that about themselves. What fulfills me? You're almost kind of taught like that's selfish. And
not supposed to feel good, or not supposed to be happy. So what are some of the things that you've been developing since you've done your training? You've been training and teaching law of attraction for a long time. You're doing introductory presentations, seminars. You've got a Meetup group. You're the how-to gal in New York to teach people how to apply law of attraction. What has birthed from that in your own business?
Well, I also work with how our brains work. That's subconscious programming, and I've been doing a lot of work with people on, how to change that programming. Okay. Obviously, by, taking it a little further in some of the steps, I even work with the hypnosis. I've done hypnosis because I've learned that. And I have a new process called the timer process, where I have people just checking in with themselves, because we don't realize you talk about the vibrational bubble. That was a perfect story, idea to look about, and we don't realize what's in that bubble.
Yeah.
on an hourly basis during the day.
Yeah.
When you make that effort to stop, you raise your awareness level, and then you go, oh, of course my life is going up and down.
Yeah.
Because my bubble is filled with up and down stuff.
Yeah, good comparison.
So I work a lot with that. I do a lot of one-on-one coaching with people also.
Yeah.
So that's very, very rewarding.
Yeah. And what kind of clients have you been working with one-on-one, teaching them about law of attraction and applying it? What's been a typical client?
I'm the person who has kind of learned about this and, has kind of known, there's something more out there but could not put their finger on it, or they've been on the internet and now they're reading 74 and 8th more laws, and obviously it annoys me when people complicate this. And they're finally saying, is this true? Can I really create the life I desire?
Yeah.
Because people don't believe that.
No.
That,
you have to model it. You're modeling it, I'm modeling
right.
it. And I even tell people right in my seminar, I can't prove law of attraction. I can't put it in a dish or in a petri dish and say, here, Ellie, do you believe me now? I can't do that.
No.
So you just have to model it. And then people come to me and say, how is it you have such a great life? How is it you get to travel? How is it this? How is it that? And then it's like, okay, they just asked for the answer.
Yes.
And to me, it's, there's many laws, many rules, many things to follow. Law of attraction is the most important one. And whether we like it or not, or believe it or not, we are attracting things around us, so we want to be more deliberate. And that's what you and I do. We teach people how to be more deliberate.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, you know that I'm generous, and I asked you to do the same thing. So what do you have for our friends that are watching and listening, something that you've developed around law of attraction? What gift can you give us?
Well, I have, and you are very generous. That's
Thank
the
you.
other plus. I need to say that about, we didn't just go to your training and then that was the end of it.
Yes.
We connected with you. You have those monthly calls.
Thank you.
If I sometimes my schedule, I don't get on live, but I download and I listen.
Yes.
And then we're connected in the group. So that is a wonderful,
Thanks,
wonderful plus to this.
Yeah, that's important.
I did some free videos on how the law of attraction works and how our brain works.
Okay.
And so I have that, and I also have a free ebook, 4 Steps to Creating a Life You Desire.
Okay.
I really highly recommend. I get lots of compliments about the videos. People get those ahas.
Okay, great. We'll send people to that. Give us the address, and then I'll put it on the screen as well.
It's at livingthelawofattraction.com/Michael.
Okay, lowercase Michael?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. We'll send people there for your videos.
Excellent.
Well, very good. So what's something that you want to create for yourself in the next 6 months? What do you want to attract to your life or your business?
Oh, well, here's the one where this is a big one for me. Ellie doesn't want to be in upstate New York in the winter. So Ellie wants to attract warm climates all year round.
Ah.
So actually, that's on its way. That's been one of mine, and I see where I've been holding back on it, and I see that where I'm opening the door, Florida or Puerto Rico, one or the other.
Oh, they'd be nice choices. I was in Vegas last week, and it was 107 degrees.
Well, that's
for my Canadian friends. That's like 44. That's like don't leave the house hot. It's funny because I'm thinking, I've created a life of lots of freedom, and I thought, I could just go live in Italy for the summer. But there's still something that is blocking me around doing that. But I have the freedom. I could come to New York and rent an apartment, furnished apartment for a month. I could live in New York. I could do all of that. But there's still a little voice that I'm managing.
Yes, little voices,
I can
that's
do
right.
that. Just because nobody in my family never did, or none of my friends did. So it's about getting out of that pattern that we're in. So
that's
I
right.
might be coming to live in New York.
But I left New York. I mean, I'm up here in the boonies.
Yeah, I saw a recent picture, and you were in the country, and I was thinking garden. I thought that'd be a nice garden, but I didn't think snow. But I'm sure it snows there too. Yeah. Well, very good. Is there anything that I didn't ask you, Ellie, that you wanted me to bring up, or you wanted to share with our friends?
I think we've covered it. My main thing is I was so grateful, and I know I attracted that, to have met you. And to end up in that training, because it absolutely enhanced what I was doing. and it enhanced me. And the greatest thing, I think, is the connection that we continue to have.
Yeah.
And that's so important. It's not one of these things, here's a quick course, and go away and do your thing. And you are always developing and sharing, just like now with the fulfillment needs.
Yes, it's
so
fun.
I want a signed copy.
Okay, you're on. Well, thanks, Ellie. That was great. And for anybody in the Albany State or that neighborhood area, you can check out Ellie and join her Facebook, her Facebook, and certainly her in-person meetup groups. What a great way. Particularly people that live in the country, they don't have access to as many people as me, you, and I might, or that I do.
Right.
So I tell people, do what you need to do to stay connected, and be nice if they visited your group. So thanks very much, Ellie, and congratulations on your success.
Thank you.